A very good afternoon. A very good afternoon, one and all present here. Yes, I didn't hear anything. So I understand it is a very big challenge addressing you all at this time of the day. Nonetheless, a very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you. So it is my proud privilege to stand before you all to address you all for a workshop that we have organized on Sustainable Development Goals, SDG as we call. Personally, I am extremely thrilled with the idea that under the research and consultancy cell, we could start something like this at the university level. So it is a proud privilege, and I am here standing before you all representing MIT College of Management, and I would like to thank, the top management who actually supported this very, very important initiative, right? And I'm sure this will really help students in sensitizing them towards the SDG goals. So on this, very moment, let me thank our Vice Chancellor and Executive President, Dr. Mangesh Karar sir, Dr. Sunita Karar ma'am, Executive Director, MIT ADT University, the faculty who are present here, who were also there to support our students, and not to forget all the students who have participated and who are attending and who have really ensured that they make this a huge success. So first of all, on behalf of all of you, let us congratulate ourselves by having a really a thunderous round of applause with as many present here, you know, because with this we actually start this activity, and personally I have gone and seen all the research posters that were put up, and I was actually impressed by the level of rigor that has been brought in by our undergraduate students. So really a special round of applause for all the students for demonstrating a lot of maturity at their level in identifying what are the problems at the state level related to SDG and what can be the solution. And personally, I'm here, very privileged to welcome Dr. Nehal Mayur, right, who has taken out time from his busy schedule and has actually evaluated your work. So a special round of applause for Dr. Nehal Mayur. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, and thank you for giving us a direction on how we can take this ahead and how we can actually do research on something which is meaningful for our country, meaningful for our society, right? So I think, you know, uh, while we have been toying with this idea of taking up SDG, but today when I stand before you all, I'm just so happy that we can actually see a research poster competition being held where the SDGs are being projected and students are talking in the language of the SDGs identified state-wise, right? And then they are telling us the solutions. And students, you are the future generation for us. So if you are sensitized, I'm sure you will take care of the resources which are available. And if you really understand what is the definition of sustainability, in fact I was myself doing my trying to find out what is exactly sustainability, and I'd like to quote what United Nations has how United Nations has defined sustainability. So in 1987 they defined sustainability as, and I quote, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs, I unquote. And this is what is the essence, what we have to drive and we have to sensitize. So I'm really, very, very happy and delighted. And I'd like to thank the research, and consultancy cell committee. And I would like to thank, the research head, Dr. Geeta Rao ma'am. I'd like to also thank, the other two faculty members who have really worked very hard with the students and have ensured that these posters are in place. right? So can I have the two faculties please come up here? We'd like to have a round of applause for the two of you, Asmita Gaikwad ma'am and Shah Jahan ma'am, right? Sorry, my sincere apologies. Yes, please come. Please come on the stage. We'd like to really acknowledge your work. If it was not for the two of them, this would not have been possible. The amount of encouragement they provided to the students, I could see the impact, today in front of all. So, ma'am, you also please join. We will let them stand here, and I'm sure the photographer will also capture this moment because it is worth congratulating them as they stand here. So, please, the three of you, sorry, Dr. Raiza Sheikh, ma'am, Dr. Geeta Rao, ma'am, and and to be Dr. Asmita Gaikwad, ma'am. Yes. Can we have a round of applause, please, students? It should look like we are acknowledging their efforts. Yes, and we can also have all the participants. Can you all please come on the stage? Quick. Each one of you did a wonderful job, exceeded at least my expectations. Yes, and we need to raise the bar for undergraduate students now. Excellent teamwork, excellent coordination, an eye for detail, right? And knowing how to analyze and find solution to a problem. These are very, very important skills, and of course, on a topic of sustainability. So thank you very much to all of you. Thank you. So with these words, I come to the end of what I wanted to say. These are the thoughts that came to my mind. So I'd like to thank, and of course, I'd like to thank all those who were behind the scene, who made it a success, right? Thanks for all your efforts, right? And I like to end with one song, from a movie from Raj Kapoor, whose thoughts really reflect or mirror what we are here to discuss on the SDG. And the song goes like this: किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, जीना इसी का नाम है. Thank you very much, and please continue making these efforts every year that we organize this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chabi ma'am, for the address. Now I would like to call Dr. Nihal Mayur sir to kindly take over the dais. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good morning. Oh, so all are active. It's a test to know that all are active. I'm so thankful to MIT University for giving me this opportunity of speaking, but I'm little upset because of time constraint. Since morning, we've been listening to SDGs, SDGs, and SDGs. I want to keep it as an interactive session. If you have any question in between I'm speaking, you have right to ask and stop me. Because so you have all rights to stop me and ask me about SDGs. We have very limited time. I will start my presentation. Before my presentation, I want to give a brief history about United Nations and birth of SDGs. So, United Nations was formed in 1945 to protect peace, prosperity, what we're talking about since morning, research, everything is at the ultimate goal is to have a prosperity on our planet. To quote and unquote, to start my session, Secretary General of United Nations said, "We do not have Plan B because we do not have Planet B. This is the only planet we have. We have to live, we have to give, and we have to protect and preserve." So, coming to the history of United Nations Charter is built up such a way that it has 6 pillars to United Nations stands. First is Secretariat building, where the United Nations building is in New York, headquarter. It's called Secretariat, and it's an international land. It's a part of New York. It's a part of America, but that entire building does not come into any. It doesn't come to US. It is international land, and there is no protection from US. It has UN police, so it's an international land, and it's called Secretariat. Second important pillar of United Nations is General Assembly. So every year in the month of September, the third week, all the global leaders of 195 countries come together and discuss on global peace, security, and current affairs. The third is ECOSOC Council, the third pillar. Everyone knows about UNICEF, UNESCO, and other UN agencies. They work under the ECOSOC Council. The fourth pillar of the United Nations is Trusteeship Council, which works for global security and peace. Fifth is Security Council, where all the legal decisions are taken place. And finally, International Court of Justice. So these are the 6 pillars of United Nations and the form of United Nations. What is SDG and how it was born? So we go back in year 2000 when Kofi Annan was a Secretary General of United Nations, and in discussion, they discussed with the global leaders that every country has its own challenges. They have their own planning, they have their own strategies, and they work independently. Why don't we develop a goal which can be a global goal, and every country, all the member states should participate in it. And with that context, in a closed room, MDG, that's Millennium Development Goal, was transformed into action. Specific 8 goals at that time, that was a priority, and that decision was taken in closed room with only with the member states, and there was no other stakeholders. But in 2012, when the 15 years agenda was about to over, all the global leaders again came to UN and decided that this time we should get us all the stakeholders, all the parties, apart from governments, non-governmental organizations, civil societies, academics, individual, and every vote should count that what they want from this world. And the campaign was launched called World We Want. World We Want campaign was launched for 1 year. Excuse me. So 1 year, everyone voted online, offline, and out of 70 million votes, decided of 17 SDGs, which was transformed on 26 September 2015 into action. So it's a 15-year agenda called Sustainable Development Goals, which we're talking about, and all the presentation was made since morning, and every student is excited about SDGs and its functioning. So 17 SDG is a Bible for development. It's a excuse, it's a global goals, and it is transformed into action, and action for everyone has to contribute in it. So this goal was formed to excuse me, to support the global development, and the world we want. Like it should be, the world should be planet 50-50, equal to everyone. And this 17 SDGs, we will see one to one in our presentation, and then we can discuss. I will try to finish this as soon as possible, so we have more interactive session. I want to know from you all. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I have a bad throat. You have to bear with me. So my colleague Nastia, she will run through a presentation.
Good afternoon. The United Nations was founded in 1945 and currently boasts 193 member states and 2 observer states. It is an international organization with the overachieving goal of maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, promoting global development. The first SDG goal is no poverty. The goal looks at completely getting rid of all extreme poverty with 7 targets: eradication of extreme poverty, reduction of all poverty by half, implementation of social protection systems, ensuring equal rights to ownership, basic services, technology, and economic resources, building of resilience to environmental, economic, and social disasters, mobilization of resources to end poverty, establishment of poverty eradication policy frameworks at all levels. The first 5 targets are outcome targets, with the remaining 2 being means of achieving targets. You will see this with each of the SDGs in this blog post, with the targets split into these 2. Global poverty has increased rapidly in recent years due to both the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine, undoing a lot of the hard work from previous years. 10% of the world's population currently lives in poverty, struggling to meet their basic needs. This goal aims to get that number down to 0 by 2030.
Okay, so goal one, everyone, it's a global challenge to end poverty. But country like Scandinavian countries, Sweden and Norway, they do not have poverty. So why they will work for this goal one, right? This is for underdeveloped and developing countries. So how they are contributing to this goal? By financing, funding to achieve goal one. So that is how the countries who are developed are supporting goal one through their resources, like educational resources. They are providing universities, infrastructures, technologies, development ideas. So all the developed countries sharing their resources to achieve goal one for underdeveloped and underdeveloping countries.
SDG goal number 2, zero hunger. Ending hunger and improving access to food, ending all forms of malnutrition, doubling agricultural productivity or income, ensuring sustainable food production systems and resilient agriculture practices, maintaining the genetic diversity of seeds, cultivated plants, and farmed and domesticated animals, addressing trade restrictions and distortion, increasing investment in infrastructure, technology, and research, ensuring proper functioning of food commodity markets. Hunger has been increasing steadily since 2015, despite this goal being in place. The pandemic and the climatic shocks are responsible for a lot of this. This SDG is important as hunger or malnutrition is a huge reason for mental and physical development in children. The last 3 of the above goals are all the ways in which the UN plan to try and achieve this goal.
It is shocking for everyone if I say that a country like United States also a victim of hunger. It is not because they don't have access to food, but it is because of misuse of the food and the process of keeping the food. And if you see the food shortage in countries, developed countries, they are also a victim of this. So how this to be addressed and tackled is a point of subject for all the researchers. And this is a very important topic which can be addressed from the context of research. So you should keep this in mind to work on.
SDG goal number 3, good health and well-being. Reduce maternal mortality rates, end preventable deaths of newborns or children up to 5, end various epidemic and communicable diseases, reduce mortality rates from non-communicable diseases and promote mental health, strengthen the prevention or treatment of substance abuse, halve the number of injuries or deaths from road traffic accidents, ensure access to sexual health services, achieve universal health coverage, reduce deaths or illnesses from hazardous chemicals or pollution or contamination, strengthen the implementation of the WHO tobacco control framework, support research into vaccines and medicines, increase health financing or support health workforce, strengthen global capacity for handling health risks. This goal has a lot live a long, healthy, and happy life to do with improving mortality rates and ensuring people's health.
I would like to proudly add in this that how India is helping African countries to reduce, to help a good health and well-being. So CIPLA is providing medicine at the lowest cost in Africa. And that is how it is helping them to improve their quality life with the help of Indian medicines. And we are a major player, key player of producing medicines and at a very economical rate. So that is how we, as in India, contributing towards SDG in Africa and South America.
SDG goal number 4, quality education. Ensure all children complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education. Ensure all children can access preschool care or education. Equal access to technical, vocational, and tertiary education. Increase the number of skilled people for jobs and entrepreneurship. Eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access for the vulnerable. Ensure literacy and numeracy for all children and large number of adults. Ensure all learners acquire the knowledge to promote sustainable development. Build safe and accessible educational facilities. Expand scholarships for developing countries. Increase supply of teachers. We can see that these targets focus on ensuring that education is accessible and equal, which is so important and fits in well with the UN promise of leave no one behind.
Quality education is very important, and you students are privileged to be here at the university where you have opportunity to execute the ideas. Today we have started the university started a cell where you have an idea and you can implement. The incubation center has been developed for you people. So take that opportunity and make sure that you contribute in this goal as an individual from a university to the international level.
SDG goal number 5, gender equality. End discrimination against women and girls. Eliminate violence against women and girls. Eliminate all harmful practices towards women and girls. Recognize unpaid care or domestic work. Ensure women's participation and equal opportunities in leadership roles. Universal access to sexual health care. Undertake equal rights reforms. Enhance technology for empowering women. Adopt policies which promote gender equality. The UN are aiming to level things up for women and girls so that they have equal rights and can live freely without the threat of gender-based discrimination or violence like FGM, catcalling, and so on. SDG goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. As of May 2022, 2 billion people lacked access to clean drinking water, is also linked to 1.2 million deaths per year. So this particular SDG goes hand in hand with the good health and well-being goal. In order to achieve clean water and sanitation, the UN have 8 targets. Achieve universal access to safe, affordable drinking water, achieve access to good sanitation and hygiene for all, improve water quality, increase water use efficiency, implement integrated water resources management, protect water-related ecosystems, expand international and cooperation in water sanitation related activities, strengthen participation of local communities in water or sanitation management.
I want to keep it as an interactive session, and I just don't want her to read. What I will do is I will share this presentation. We'll see all the goals one by one, and then after we should discuss, because I want a participation from your side also, that you are understanding what we are talking, and is it making sense to you? Is that fine? Good morning. We'll just go to yeah. So goal 6.
SDG goal number 7, affordable and clean energy. SDG goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. SDG goal number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. SDG goal number 10, reduced inequalities. SDG goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. SDG goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. SDG goal number 13, climate action. SDG goal number 14, life below water. SDG goal number 15, life on land. SDG goal number 16, peace, justice and strong institutions. SDG goal number 17, partnerships for the goals.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, I don't just want to speak because I'm tired. I want to listen from you all as well. So SDGs, I spoke about the history of SDGs, and we've been transforming that ideas into action with all the young kids, given a good example of how to implement SDGs and transform into policies, into action, and into development. So 17 SDGs is not just about a goal. It's a framework with 169 indicators. How we spoke about ending poverty. It is just not one word. It is just not one single sentence that can end the poverty. So it's a framework with 5 pointers of indicators. The total indicators is 169 and 169 targets and 247 indicators, which make SDG as a framework, as a global development agenda. What is our contribution and how we can, as an individual, as an institution, can contribute to the SDGs? It is just not the responsibility of our governments or our agencies to work on it. It is our basic practices. It is our contribution towards SDG will achieve the goals. And this goal is not for us. As the SDG, as ma'am said, a very good quote of 1987 in United Nations, that sustainability is important. What you earn and spend today in terms of nature, from nature, you have to give it back. And how you give it back is the framework of SDGs. Everything is limited on this planet. The resources are very limited. And now it's our time to use it and reuse it and refuse it and rebuild it. So I feel that we should go on a question answer session. If anyone have any question related to SDGs or any pointers where we can elaborate, I'll be happy because I see some faces sleeping. Any question related to SDGs or United Nations? I think everyone understood my presentation. Am I correct? Or make no sense? Yeah, ma'am. Okay, good question. Okay, so how many of them like ma'am's question? That's the first thing. I think only, okay, I repeat the question ma'am asked, that how you all can contribute to the United Nations, or how can you be a part of the UN and the UN system? First of all, everyone understood what is United Nations. It's a global government. So, okay, to work with United Nations, there are 3 ways. First, with your academics, like from the university, you can go to the UN and represent at the United Nations as a youth, as a student at the UN AI. We have a body called United Nations Academic Impact, which work with the university students. So you have that exposure to go and sit in the General Assembly where all the global leaders speaks. You can go and sit in Security Council to listen at how the legal proceeding happens. So you have to get in touch with the university to get affiliated with UNAI to get and get access to the United Nations headquarter. That is one way. Second, with your own capacity, you can join United Nations volunteer program. That's called UNV. So once you get enrolled with the UNV, they will allocate you with one civil society to work. Once you started working with them, and if you spend some years with the university, they will they will give you access to go to UN. The third is finding a job in the UN, and the fourth is doing a consultancy. So there are ample of opportunities with the UN, and you guys are doing very well today. All the presentation was very good. So I want you to elaborate to understand the targets. You know that goal one is end poverty. So how? What are the tools? What are the indicators? If you use that indicators, then it will be very easy for you to answer that how you can do it. If you see the targets, and then you add that indicator, then it will become a proper framework, a proper structure, and then you start working on it. Any other question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. First of all, I must thank you on behalf of your MIT University. Uh,
We
my
can't hear you.
question, uh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just throw some insights on consultancy area which you spoke about? What way we can explore in UN on consultancy front? We need some insights on that.
Sure. Consultancies play very pivotal role in global development. From research to development, all this scope of work is done by consultancies on multiple capacities. So in terms of United Nations policies and framework, we hire consultant on multiple agencies to do multiple work. Coming from a university perspective, sir, so like United Nations Academic Impact is an agency who work with the global universities with the objective of reaching out to the universities and achieving the SDGs. So the consultancies work with the SDGs and alignment with the United Nations are the major role of work for the consultancies from the perspective of universities. Coming to research, all so in context from India, we have 45 consultancies in India working on achieving SDGs, and they are monitoring and evaluating agencies. From the grassroots level to the policy engagements, these consultancies are working in and out to deliver accurate information and the data collection. And finally, at the United Nations New York headquarters, the consultancy's role are to consult the government from the various segments. From the education perspective, a good education policies for underdeveloped countries, and to infrastructure and the communication built up. So these are the role played by the consultancies at the United Nations. Sir, entering into it, we have a simple way. We have a platform called inspira.un.org. This is for everyone, all the students. If you want to do volunteering, if you want to, if you want to get enrolled to the United Nations, we have one platform. It's Inspira, INSPIRA .un.org. So once you log in into this website, you get multiple access, and you can choose that from consultancy to full-time job, from region to state to the country. So you have access to entire encyclopedia of the United Nations. And coming to MBA students and administration students, we have courses which is done by United Nations, World Health Organization, UNITAR, and UNAI. So these courses are free. While you have time, go online, check these courses, and you do it. These will add a benefits to your profile, and you will get access to learn about the United Nations functioning, administration, and policies. I feel this is one-way communication. Any question anyone has? So I will conclude my session with this limited time. I wanted to give more exposure on every goals, but we have limited time. I will share this presentation with the university, and please, you can take it. It will be for a public record. And if you have any question, you can reach out to me, and my email address I will share here. If you are interested in working with United Nations or doing volunteering with your universities or looking out for going international and presenting your university, we can create that platform for you people. I will end this session with one quote that started with research, and I will end on research. So today morning we had a great session on research. So many people had questions that how and where the research begins. So quoting and quoting, it's my quote. Some records are broken, some are fixed. So who breaks the record? Like sportsmen break the records by creating a new record. But a research and researcher fix that record by research and their findings. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Are you all excited to know the winners? Yes? Okay. Our third winner for this research competition is Lasya and Group. Can we please have a big round of applause for them? Lasya and Group, can you all please come ahead? Lasya and Group. Okay. Second, Kumar and Group. Can we please have a big round of applause for them? For first prize, any guesses? No? Okay, let me announce it. It's Shrapna and Group. Can we please have a big round of applause for them? Shrapna and Group, can we please have you all here? A huge round of applause for everybody. Thank you. Can we please have Todmal sir and Archana Singh ma'am also on the stage, please? just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Sure. Thank you all. I request Rishita to please take over.
Thank you so much, sir. It is through the collective effort of everyone present here that this initiative has come to life. With that, we bring the formal part of today's event to a close. But as Walt Disney once said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. The real work begins now, and we are excited to see what the future holds. Now, I would like to call Asmita to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rishita. I am Asmita Jha from TYBBA, and it is my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of the inauguration of our Research and Innovation Cell. First and foremost, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to guests Dr. Rajshri Shinde, Dr. Mihika Kulkarni, and Dr. Nehal Mayur sir for gracing this event with their presence and for sharing their valuable insights. Your words have truly inspired us to pursue research and innovation with greater determination. I would also like to express our heartfelt thanks to our director, Dr. Sunita Karad ma'am, our source of inspiration for your encouraging speech and for supporting this initiative. Your wisdom and experience will undoubtedly guide us as we embark on this new journey. Our sincere thanks go to Dr. Chabi Sinha ma'am and Dr. Geeta Rao ma'am, research head, who provided us with a comprehensive overview of the Research and Innovation Cell. Your clear vision and leadership will be instrumental in steering this initiative towards success. I extend my gratitude to the faculty members who have tirelessly worked behind the scenes to make this event possible. Your dedication to fostering an environment of research and innovation is truly commendable. To our students, thank you for your enthusiasm and participation. Your curiosity and passion are the driving forces behind this cell, and we look forward to the innovative ideas you'll bring forth. Lastly, I would like to thank all of our guests, friends, and colleagues for being a part of this significant event. Your presence here today is a testament to your support for our research and innovation, and we are deeply, deeply grateful. In conclusion, I leave you with the words of Benjamin Franklin. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Let's continue to invest in our knowledge, our ideas, and our future. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Asmita. I request you all to please rise for Pasaidan. I request the technical team to please play the Pasaidan.